the very, very top. And naturally, this is where all the common knowledge stuff about Hilda is at as well. Virtually anyone who even is a little familiar with the show should be able to know this stuff by now. So we're mostly just gonna go through each of these as quickly as possible. Netflix's animated series. Very early on in the development of the animated series, Hilda creator Luke Pearson originally was making graphic novels based off the character, and mentioned that he had never seriously considered an animated adaptation of the books before, but that he did have a few ideas as to how that could possibly work. Some production companies did see some potential in it, but nothing ever really turned up from it. As early as 2014, however, Silvergate producer Kurt Mueller found Hilda Folk, the first book in the Hilda book series, at an indie store in Brooklyn, New York. He and other producers at the company loved it and wanted to bring it right onto the television screen. Later that year, Luke Pearson received a proposal for a Hilda animated series from the company through his mail.
Well, from my point of view, I just received a book in the post, which was a book that looked like one of the books that Hilda has in her satchel in Hilda and the Bird Parade, and it was like a real version of that book that had a Trollberg library card inside it.
Even coming with a little Trollberg library card and a small elf letter inside, as well as a wooden USB stick that contained the actual pitch. He really enjoyed this, and soon enough discussions began. With help from head writer Stephanie Simpson, Luke and Silvergate created a pitch bible that would be used to pitch the show to various networks, including companies such as Disney, Nickelodeon, CBBC, and Cartoon Network. According to Kurt Mueller though, they, quote, all passed for one reason or another. One of these networks would end up becoming interested in using the series in some way years later though, but that's a topic we'll discuss later. In the meantime, it wasn't until June 15, 2016, where The New Yorker announced that the series would finally be picked up by Netflix for a 12-episode season, based on the first 4 books. And on February 25th, 2018, the show debuted its first 2 episodes at the New York International Children's Film Festival, with the full, now 13-episode season being released on the 21st of September that same year, and it has been history since. The show is now considered to be one of the best animated series that Netflix has to offer, with it having a 100% rating among 11 critics on Rotten Tomatoes and an 8.6 on IMDb, with many accolades soon to follow. Twig, Frida, David, Joanna, Alpha, and Tontu. 6 of the main characters we see in the show, along with Hilda herself. Twig has been Hilda's longtime best friend since she was tiny. David and Frida are 2 of Hilda's closest human friends. Johanna is a very beautiful excuse me, is Hilda's mother. Alfred Aldrich, once a resident of the Elven Counties, now lives with Hilda and Trollberg to document the various wacky adventures and mischief that occurs around humans, primarily in the city. And Tontu, well, he's just kind of a chill dude for the most part. I would say the last notable thing he did was stop a literal giant dog from terrorizing the city. Scandinavian-based aesthetic. The show, and subsequently Hilda as a whole, is actually inspired by Scandinavian folklore that's actually been around longer than Hilda was first conceived. Aside from the folklore creatures on their own, the show's style and environment also is clearly inspired from the culture that is a part of Scandinavia as well.
I've always liked folktales and fairy tales, and like specifically the Scandinavian ones. I was reading up about like specifically Icelandic tales around the time that I was starting to do comics. When I got the chance to do a comic, and all these things like came together, and Hilda's world is like really strongly like influenced by all kinds of like Scandinavian folklore.
So think about that next time you visit the EU for whatever reason. Season 3. Hilda's Season 3 was first officially announced on September 14, 2023, along with the announcement that its first 2 episodes of the 3rd and final season would premiere at the Ottawa International Film Festival on the show's 5th anniversary. And on December 7th, the show made its 3rd and final debut on Netflix with all 7 episodes plus a special releasing. Upon its premiere, the season received pretty mixed reactions from those in the community, with some saying that it is the show's best season yet thanks to its focus on rich storytelling and continuation, but others saying that it is easily the worst out of the entire show, even going as far as to say that the animated franchise should have just ended with the movie instead. Regardless on your opinions about it, it's clear that the season was going to be flawed from the very start, since around the time of the season's announcement. It was announced that it would only be receiving half of the episodes the show normally gets with each season, with Luke Pearson and Andy Coyle later clarifying this at a later time.